Hi, Dave Gentry here at the Harvard Club with the RedChip Money Report. I have with me today Doug Baker, the CEO of Applied Nanotech Holdings company. This is a technology company using nanotechnology. Doug, talk to us about the 4 key areas that you're focused on.
Sure, and first of all, thanks Dave for interviewing me. As you mentioned, we work in 4 key technology areas. The first one we call composites. In that area, we've developed a technology that can help make existing composites lighter and stronger. It's based on a carbon nanotube technology where introduction of carbon nanotubes into the base resin increases the strength. The second area we work in is thermal management. We've developed a very effective passive thermal management material called Carbol. It's based on graphite, excellent heat dissipator. The majority of failures in electronics really relate to excess heat, so it's really a perfect solution for that. Third area we work in is nanoelectronics. In that area, we've kind of focused on conductive metallic inks based on nanoparticles. And since they're based on nanoparticles, they can be ink jetted or aerosol jetted, printed in non-contact methods, which can allow a manufacturer to cut out steps in the existing process by printing directly onto a substrate. And then the fourth area we work in is nanosensors. We have a whole family of sensors capable of detecting different types of gases that are very selective and sensitive. As a matter of fact, in some cases, we can detect gases at levels of parts per trillion.
So your technology is actually being used in products today. So inkjet technology, the sensor technology. So if I go into a Office Depot today, are there products there that in some way have used your technology?
Not yet in that example. The only we generally kind of work on next generation things. The first product using our technology went into the market last year in 2011. That was our carbon nanotube enhanced resin that I mentioned first last time, and that's being used by Yonex Corporation, the sporting goods company. They're using it in both their golf shafts and their badminton rackets. They've also licensed it for tennis rackets, which we expect to be introduced at some point in the future.
Well, that's very exciting. And what do you see the growth rate in that technology over the next several years?
Well, so there'd be two parts to that. Specifically, in what we've licensed to Yonex. Last year was a partial year, so we would expect this year just the royalties from them should grow at a 50 to 100% rate, and then continue in future years. What we're really doing, though, now is adding to our business model the concept of direct sales of our material. So we're expecting to be able to sell similar enhanced resins to other people in higher volume uses in sporting goods, for example, industrial purposes. And so we expect some substantial revenue growth over the coming years from actually selling the material also.
Okay, and some of the overseas developments, you're developing partnerships there with some fairly significant players. Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
Sure. As a nanotechnology company, one of the things we really focus on is solving problems. And so what we've kind of done is gone and sought out, or in some cases based on a reputation, they've sought us out, but sought out companies with problems they wanted to solve. And so we work closely with a company with a goal of making them a long-term partner and a licensee. So in addition to our partnership I mentioned with Yonex, we also have a deal with a Japanese chemical company called Ishihara Chemical Company, where we worked with them on copper inks and have licensed the technology to them. Also, we work with a Chinese chemical company we refer to as YHCC, which is Yinhe Chemical and Construction Company, and we licensed our solar inks to them.
Mm-hmm. I want to back up just a minute. I want to make sure our viewers understand that you're in many ways a clean technology company.
Yes.
Expatiate on that for us a little bit.
Sure. I just mentioned YHCC and licensing our solar inks. What we've done is we've developed inks based on silver and aluminum that can be, as I mentioned before, ink jetted or aerosol jetted. Now the application in the solar industry is that currently the photovoltaic industry starts with a silicon wafer. They screen print, which is a contact method, with a paste on silver on one side, aluminum on the other. The wafer can't be made any thinner because of the contact method and the pressure. It'll break or crack. our technology would allow a non-contact printing method, so the wafer could be made much thinner, which would result in significant cost reductions. And in addition, it makes a more efficient because the inks are more efficient than the paste, and the wafer itself is thinner. So.
Okay. Okay. And in terms of your nanosensor division, can you tell us more about what's happening there?
Sure. There's, as I mentioned, we have a whole family of sensor technologies there, but the one we're really focusing on now is it's called DMS, differential mobility sensors, and it's highly sensitive. It's capable of sensing gases at levels of parts per trillion. There's a lot of different applications. We started out working with a sensor for mercaptan gas, which is the smell added to, or the gas added to natural gas that gives it a smell. From there, we've kind of expanded into some other applications like agricultural pathology. For example, citrus trees start to give off an odor that's imperceptible when they start to get a disease, and by the time the disease is evident, the tree is lost. Well, our technology can actually sense those gas changes and give an early warning sign. The real dream kind of in that area, if I use that word, is medical sensors for breath analysis. Same kind of concept. Each person's breath contains hundreds of gases, and they're somewhat unique to an individual. There's been a lot of work done by places like the Cleveland Clinic and UCLA Medical that correlates changes in specific gases to specific diseases. And they've also determined it occurs very early on, so it kind of becomes predictive in nature of potential future health problems for serious diseases such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, things like that. So
your technology has applications in really some multi-billion-dollar markets. These are very large markets.
Yes.
Tell us, Doug, a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been with a company. My background is I'm an accountant by training. I was in public accounting. I worked for a couple other companies. I've been with the company as chief financial officer since 1996, so I have a lot of history with the company. I became CEO in 2009, and so that's my background. I come from a business perspective. We do have a talented scientific team in Austin. The CEO of our subsidiary, Dr. Yaniv, is the creative genius behind many of our technologies. So we work well together.
So very strong R&D
yes.
department, obviously. What does the IP portfolio look like?
Well, we have over 300 issued and pending patents. They're really kind of spread around through all the different areas we work in. One of the things we focus on in developing IP is making sure it's foundational IP in general. We don't want a lot of process patents and things. We want patents that we can use to protect our innovations. We really like to kind of follow the model of companies like DuPont, 3M, Apple, companies that innovate, protect it with IP, and then commercialize and take advantage of the IP they've developed.
300 patent pendings. That's quite an asset for any company. Now, in terms of generating revenue, you're licensing your technology, so you'll be getting royalties. Talk to us a little bit about that model.
Sure. We have what I call a three-pronged business model. It starts with research and development services. That provides a nice revenue base for us. It helps us defray the cost of developing technology. It really keeps us on the forefront of what's going on and what has value to people. Research revenue is nice, but in terms of creating value, we need to commercialize technology. We kind of go about that in two ways. Up until last year, we really focused on licensing for a couple of reasons. One, it's a low capital investment and high profit margins once there's products in the market. But on the other hand, you really give up a lot of control, and you're kind of at the mercy or dependent on your partners in terms of when they want to do things. So the final piece of the puzzle for us, which has started this year, is to add direct product sales of our materials. And we're focusing on two particular areas there, our thermal management material and our composites. And then the plan will be, very shortly, is to actually start focusing on our sensors also.
Okay. So again, I'm here with the CEO, Doug Baker, of Applied Nanotech Holdings, APNT. This is an OTCBB company trading in the neighborhood of 25 cents. Does have some fair liquidity. We do have research on Applied Nanotech Holdings. Our target is in the dollar range. So if you can execute at the level we think you can, then our viewers and our investors have a potential upside here of over 200%. I would encourage you to go to redchip.com and go to our stocks tab and take a look at APNT, Applied Nanotech Holdings. We very much believe in this company. They've got a great technology, a great intellectual property portfolio. Their products are already being used today, like golf clubs and what are the other products that people can touch and feel and really understand that your golf clubs? What else?
Well, in the not too distant future, we would expect that some of our inks will be in the market by our licensees, and that'll be dependent on what their customers use them for. But it should be in electronic devices. The solar inks in particular would be for solar. It might be hard for people to go touch those, but you can certainly see them.
Right. So we like the company. Again, we have a buy rating on this company, trading below $1. And the best time to buy a RedChip stock is as the company is on the cusp of reaching new corporate milestones, which certainly Applied Nanotech Holdings is. Doug, can you give us some closing comments on your company?
Sure. I think, overall, we've spent the last couple of years really trying to get our fundamentals in order, position ourselves for growth. When you look at us from a standpoint of revenues, our cash balance, our customer base, this pipeline of sales we have, we're in the best shape we've ever been in. So we're excited to begin executing our plan and looking forward to strong growth in the future.
Well, it's great to have you here today, and hopefully you, again, will visit redchip.com and learn more about Applied Nanotech Holdings. Thanks for being with us, Doug.
Thanks for having me.
This report is not a recommendation or solicitation to purchase or sell any security, nor does it constitute investment advice. Visit redchip.com for full financial disclosures on RedChip clients.